Built on an old farm just outside Toronto, the house doesn't exactly overwhelm you with its charm. It's like a lot of other houses around here, 60 years old, innocuous, plain, and probably overpriced. But what went on in this house sent one family's very ordinary lives into a tailspin, a nightmare from which they've simply not recovered.
We entered a situation that we had no control over. Once the room was built in the basement, then all heck broke loose, and it was sort of hands off, we're into a battle. I'm just a regular kind of person that was given in some way a great challenge, and in some ways a very difficult situation to deal with as a family.
Ray Weiss is a 51-year-old real estate salesman who was not expecting trouble when he rented the place. But his wife, Catherine, remembers that she wasn't comfortable. The couple agreed to talk about it in their local church.
The very first time I ever saw the house, I didn't like the house anyways. It wasn't the house per se, it was just whatever I felt within the house, and I said, no, I really don't like it.
The good things were wonderful. Other things weren't. I look forward to it, my family certainly looked forward to it. Catherine had some reservations, which I didn't know till later. But yeah, we anticipated a nice time there, and there were some nice times there. It's a beautiful piece of property.
Sometimes something might have just didn't feel quite right, and I thought, well, maybe it's just me. So that was my first impression of the house. Mind you, when we moved in, I was quite happy with the house, because by the time we moved in, it was getting towards spring, and you start seeing the outside. It's just absolutely beautiful. So it was a beautiful, very, very beautiful place to live for quite a long time.
The house, a little piece of suburban heaven in the daylight, began to take on a hellish personality at night. A personality which began to affect the behavior of the Weiss's 16-year-old son, Joseph, who is still too traumatized to speak publicly of the events.
My son Joseph told us that he had some experiences that he had to discuss. He started getting something tugging on his pillow. Over the period of about a week, he would tell me there's something pressing on my bed. Catherine and I decided to go and sleep in his room. We were there for about an hour and a half, and there was nothing that bothered us. Joseph, I had asked to sleep in our room. About an hour and a half into this, Joseph came downstairs and said, "Dad, it's in the room upstairs now." I said to Joseph, "I'll sleep with you in my room, and let's see what happens." That was the beginning of it for me. And at that time, he came into the room, he lied down in the bed beside me. It was like an electrical charge going through my complete body. It lasted, I guess, for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, these very strange feelings. Joseph asked me if I felt anything, and I said, "No, I don't feel anything, just relax." And I didn't want to tell him that I felt anything, because whatever he was experiencing, I was experiencing something, but I wasn't sure what I was experiencing. After that, I lied on my side and waited, and it was just like the bed was pulsing with plates. And Joseph doesn't like that description, but it would be about the size of a small plate, a saucer. Going up and down at various levels and various spaces around me. And it was a extremely unnerving experience. I had all the fear because now I was into it. I understood some of the pain, some of the fear that he was feeling, and it was very real.
Ray Weiss believed he was suddenly in a battle to save his family, or perhaps just to save his sanity.
What is going on? And I knew that it had to be something psychokinetic in nature. There was an energy, whatever it was, or a spirit, whatever it was, and I couldn't determine what it was. It was just very scary.
The strange events in the Weiss house continued for nearly 6 months, and Weiss, who describes himself as a level-headed, ordinary man, began to worry about the mental health of both him and his son. He talked to his local priest, hired mediums, and people who claimed they could chase spirits. Nothing worked. The so-called hauntings continued unabated. He even consulted some Native American shamans who surrounded his property with what they claimed to be magic bags.
For $30 extra, we were able to buy these cloths. They go on the perimeter of the lot to protect the lot from, and the house from any spirits. The theory is that the spirits will not cross this line. The fact is, they didn't do anything. But that's the kind of thing you get involved with when you're dealing with these issues. I don't have $1 million, but I can tell you that I had made the comment that I would give everything in the world that I have, including that if I had it, in order to solve this problem and put my son's mind and my family's minds at ease. That's how important this was at a particular time to me in the first 6 months. When I couldn't find anybody to help, I would have done anything, gone anywhere, talked to anybody to help us solve our problem.
There was only one avenue the Weiss family had not pursued. They had not approached a priest who was known to have performed an official Roman Catholic exorcism. But they were just about to.
The devil exists, yes. The devil is a creature